Everybody, it's Justin Rulin back in with a new video, and today I am going to show you guys what is on my phone. Now, I did a video like this about 10 or 11 months ago with my Moto Z Force, which is the phone that I replaced my Galaxy Note 7 with. But this video is not about the Note 7, of course. This is about what is on my Galaxy S8 Plus. Now, I have quite a few apps on here. I don't have like tons of apps, but I have quite a few. So we're going to go through them. And my app drawer is in alphabetical order, so once we get to the app drawer, everything will be sorted alphabetically. So, but now we're on the basic home screen. And this home screen is pretty basic. This is my default home screen. And all you have here is
current location, book field, current temperatures, weather. You'll tap mobile address.
So we got the weather widget.
Current location, book field, current temperature 77 degrees, clear, weather, refresh button. You'll tap to activate.
After the weather widget, we have
Google. You'll tap mobile address.
the Google search widget,
Google search. Google search. Voice search button.
which we have
You'll tap to activate.
Google search and voice search in this widget. Then we have
Phone.
phone.
You'll tap to activate. You'll tap mobile address.
This is the dock now,
Chrome. You'll tap to activate. You'll tap mobile address.
which most of you guys, some of you guys may, actually all you guys should know what Chrome is. I mean, it's pretty much Google's default web browser, but
Play Store.
and then
You'll tap to activate. You'll tap mobile camera.
then
You'll tap to activate. You'll tap easy screen recorder.
now we'll go to page 2.
Page 2 of 3. Subscriptions. Samsung Experience Home. You'll tap to activate. You'll tap mobile address.
We have subscriptions, which is a app shortcut to my YouTube subscriptions, which is pretty nice. I love having that there because I can just swipe over and just tap on it and jump right into my subscriptions.
Email. You'll tap to activate. You'll tap mobile address.
We have Samsung's email client, which I don't use. I prefer Gmail. Then
Calendar.
Calendar, which is Samsung's calendar. Again, don't really use it.
Gallery.
Gallery, which that's where you can see all your photos. I prefer Google Photos personally. It's more user-friendly and more accessible with TalkBack and Voice Assistant, which, by the way, right now I'm using TalkBack. But
Verizon folder. You'll tap to activate. You'll tap.
and we got the Verizon folder. So let's go in here and see what we have in here.
Folder opened. Page 1.
So as you heard, there is one page in this folder. So
Verizon. Edit box. Enter folder name. Folder color button. You'll tap to activate.
now we have
Tap back button to close folder. My Verizon.
my
You'll tap to
Verizon,
activate. You'll tap mobile.
which allows me to manage my Verizon account and pay the bill if I wanted to.
Voicemail. You'll tap to
Voicemail, which is visual voicemail. I prefer that over the old-fashioned way of dialing the number to call voicemail and typing in the password. I think it's a pain in the ass, but
close down. Send feedback button. Close down button. Voice wake up has stopped. Close down button.
okay. Sorry about that, guys. Bixby voice wake up has crashed. But anyway, let's see where we are now.
Folder color button.
Okay.
Tap back. My Verizon. Voicemail. You'll tap to activate. You'll tap mobile address.
So like I said, we got voicemail.
Add apps to folder button. You'll tap to activate.
Add apps to folder. So that's it for the Verizon folder.
Home button. Back. Folder closed.
And now we're still on page 2.
Business button.
Now we're still on
You'll
page
tap to
2.
activate. You'll tap
So
mobile. Calendar. Samsung Experience Home. Gallery. Verizon. Google folder. You'll tap to activate. You'll tap mobile.
let's go into the Google folder.
Folder opened. Page 1. Google. Edit box. Enter folder name. Folder color button. Tap back button to Google. You'll tap to activate. You'll tap mobile. Gmail. Google. You'll tap to activate. You'll tap mobile address.
So we have the Google app itself here in the folder.
Gmail.
Gmail, which is, of course, Google's default mail. Now, I'm not going to really go into here because I have some work-related stuff, but I'm probably actually not going to go into any of these apps. I'm not going to open any of them. I'm just going to tell you what's on here, and that's about it. So,
Maps. You'll
Maps,
tap to activate. You'll tap.
that's Google Maps, which, in my opinion, is the best navigation app. Way better than Apple Maps. Way better than... Well, actually, I can't really say. I've never used apps like Get There or Blind Square, which Blind Square is only on iOS anyway, so I never really got to use that. But and I don't even know if it'll work where I live anyway, because I'm out in the country, pretty much in the middle of nowhere. But
YouTube. You'll tap.
YouTube,
Drive. You'll tap to
Google Drive. That's Google That's Google's cloud storage service, similar to Dropbox, which is pretty nice. I honestly have to say that for me it's tough. I kind of prefer Drive over Dropbox, but I don't know. I like them both. So anyway,
Play music. Double tap to
Google Play Music.
play movies and TV.
We got Play Movies and TV.
Duo.
Duo.
Double tap to activate.
Now Duo is nice. I've used it very little, but in the time I've spent with it, it's very nice. It's basically Google's answer to FaceTime, and it's a nice, simple layout. You can do audio calls and video calls, and that's about it. It's pretty simple.
Photos. Double tap.
Google Photos, which I talked about. That's my favorite app to manage my photos and videos. I don't really like Samsung's Gallery. It has gotten more accessible with the Oreo update. However, I still find it kind of wonky, so I prefer Google Photos.
Google Pay. Double tap.
Google Pay. I've never used that before. That was Android Pay before, and now they've renamed it to Google Pay. But I've never used it.
Add up to folder button.
And
Double tap to activate. Home button.
that's it for the Google folder. Now let's go to page 3.
Page 3 of 3. Current pages.
And as I was going to say, current page is last page, but I stopped it. But
Samsung Themes. Samsung Experience Home.
so we have Samsung Themes. This is the theme store for Samsung. I've added it on here, which I actually forgot that I did that, to be honest. But this is the Samsung theme store. I don't come in here that often, but when I do, I usually like to just browse around the themes. I do have a few themes installed. Like I have a dark theme. I think it's called Material Dark, which I do like that. I'm not using it right now, but I may go back to it. But anyway.
Phone. Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold to press.
And
Chrome. Play Store. Camera. Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold to press.
so that's all of
Home
page
button.
3.
Back.
It's just
Page 1 of 3.
Samsung themes. So now we're going to go to my app drawer, and this is where I was talking about all my apps are in alphabetical order. So I'm just going to swipe up with 2 fingers to open my app drawer.
App screen. Page 1 of 4. Recents button.
And,
Search phone. Edit box. Samsung Experience Home.
and at the top left corner of the screen, we have a search icon, which will bring you to Samsung's Finder, where you can search for all of your apps and pretty much anything on the phone. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go through all my apps, and I'm going to explain what they are and my use for them. So
Voice search button. Double tap to activate. Markers button. Easy screen recorder. Amazon folder. Samsung Experience Home.
so
Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold to press.
we got the Amazon folder, so let's come in here.
Folder opened. Page 1 of 1. Amazon. Edit box. Enter folder name. Folder color button. Tap back button to close. Amazon shopping. Double tap.
Amazon Shopping. Now this app, this came with my phone, but honestly, this app has been kind of... I have not had the best experience with Amazon Shopping on Android. I used to have an issue. Now I don't know if this still persists, because when I bought something on Amazon, I had sighted assistance, and when I bought my band for my Gear S3, but a while back when I used Amazon Shopping, I could not find the Buy Now button with TalkBack, and not only that, but the app would just constantly crash. So I'm not sure how it's really been now. It's been through plenty of updates since then. I probably will come in here and at some point and play around with Amazon Shopping and see how it works, but
Prime Video. Double tap.
we got Prime Video. It's Amazon's video service. I don't use it at all, so I probably will end up disabling it. Or if I can install it, I will do that as well. But
Add up to folder button.
and
Double tap to
that's it
activate.
for the Amazon folder.
Back button. Folder close.
So
Search phone. Edit box. Markers button. Easy screen recorder. Amazon folder. Samsung Experience. Google folder. Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold.
and now we have a second Google folder.
Folder opened. Page 1 of 1. Google. Edit box. Folder color. Tap back button to drive. Double tap to activate. Double.
We have Drive,
Duo.
Duo,
Double tap to activate. Gmail. Double tap to activate. Double tap and Google Pay.
Google
Double tap to
Play,
activate. Photos.
Photos,
Double tap to play movies and TV.
Play Movies and
Double tap
TV,
to add up to folder button. Double tap to activate.
and that's the Google folder in the app drawer.
Back button. Folder close.
So now,
Search phone. Edit box. Amazon folder. Samsung folder. Double tap to activate. Double tap.
now let's go to the Samsung folder.
Folder opened. Page 1 of 1.
And as you heard, there's one page in this folder as well.
Samsung. Edit box. Folder color button. Tap back button to internet. Double tap to
Samsung Internet. I never use that at all. I prefer Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. But lately I've been using Chrome. I haven't really used Firefox in quite a while. Chrome is okay though. I like Chrome a lot, especially on Windows. It's awesome now. Way better than Edge, but anyway.
My files. Double tap to activate.
My files, Samsung's File Manager. I really like this app a lot. I wouldn't say it's the best file manager of all time, but it does enough for me. It's really nice.
Samsung Notes. Double tap.
Samsung Notes allows you to take notes and do whatever. I don't really use this too much. I mean, I would say if you have a Galaxy Note phone, this app would be more useful. But like me, who has a Galaxy S8 Plus or any other phone without an S Pen, this app can be useful. However, it makes more sense if you're using it on a Galaxy Note device, hence the name.
Samsung Pay. Double tap to activate.
Samsung Pay. Now this app is cool. However, I'm going to go on a little rant real quick. Well, actually, before I do that, I want to explain how Samsung Pay works. So, this Samsung devices, they use a feature called MST, which I believe stands for, I forget exactly what it stands for, like magnetic something, I forget, but it's a technology that basically allows you to swipe your phone on a credit card terminal and the terminal will read it as a credit card. So I think that's pretty cool technology. But the issue with Samsung Pay is it's not accessible for the blind. Now that is ridiculous because you got Apple Pay and even Google Pay is accessible. Because I did go in there a few times. I'd never set it up, but it is accessible. The setup is accessible, whereas the Samsung Pay setup is not. Not even with voice assistant, which is quite ridiculous. But I think Samsung needs to really prioritize their accessibility in apps because their phones are accessible. I did a video about why I believe Samsung offers the best Android experience for anybody with a disability. But notice in the video, I never mentioned Samsung third-party apps because, well, they're not really consistent at all. But anyway,
Smart Switch. Double tap.
Smart Switch. Now there is a mobile version of this, which obviously this is what this is, and a PC version. Now the mobile version is accessible, and this allows you to transfer content from any device. Oh, sorry about that, guys. That was Facebook. I'm getting a lot of Facebook notifications today, but anyway, Smart Switch allows you to transfer content from your old device to a new Galaxy device, so whether that's iPhone, Android, or even BlackBerry. Now, the mobile version of this app is accessible, and I've used it, and it works phenomenally. However, the PC version is not accessible. And so, again, there's another app from Samsung that's inconsistent. Now, here's what's weird about this, though. Samsung Smart Switch is accessible on the Mac with VoiceOver, but it's not accessible with NVDA or Narrator, and I'm probably not even JAWS either. I don't even know. But can someone please explain to me how Samsung Smart Switch can be accessible on the Mac but not on Windows? Again, more inconsistency with third-party apps, but whatever.
Smart Things. Double tap.
Smart Things. Now, this is really cool. This allows you to connect Samsung accessories, and they communicate with each other. It's kind of like Apple's continuity, sort of. So like this app allows me to manage my Gear S3 along with the Gear app. So it's a nice app. It used to be Samsung Connect, but it does the same thing. They've just renamed it to Smart Things.
Add to folder button.
And that's
Double tap to activate.
Samsung folder.
Back button. Folder closed. Amazon folder. Samsung Experience Home. Samsung folder. Verizon folder. Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold to long press.
Now let's go to the Verizon folder. We have another Verizon folder in the app drawer.
Folder opened. Page 1 of 1.
And I'm gonna warn you guys, this video might be long because I want to go in depth about what I use on my phone. So this video may be a little long. Just a disclaimer there. I should have mentioned that in the beginning of the video, and it's almost, I don't know, it's like almost a little after 1 in the morning, I think. So anyway, but I don't care. I'm gonna record anyway. So we're in the Verizon folder.
Verizon, edit box, edit, folder color, button. Tap back button to close folder. My Verizon. Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold to press.
And my Verizon, which we went over earlier.
NFL. Double tap to activate.
NFL, this is NFL Mobile, and I use this app quite a lot, especially in September, because I'm a huge football guy. My favorite team is the 49ers. Let's go Niners. Hopefully this year we have a better season. We're competitive now that we got Jimmy Garoppolo and Marquise Goodwin and players like that. But
Add to folder button.
and
Double tap to activate.
for this Verizon folder.
Back button. Folder closed. All cast. Samsung Experience Home. Capital TTS Voices. Verizon folder. Samsung folder.
Okay.
Double tap to activate.
So let's go through these apps. So now we're on to my apps that I have on here. So
Verizon folder. Capital TTS Voices.
Acapella TTS Voices. This is a TTS engine that is quite nice. I prefer Vocalizer TTS, which is what I'm using now, and we will scroll past that here in a little bit. Right now we're only in the A's, and that's all the way in V's, obviously. So, but that's Acapella TTS. It's pretty nice. Not my favorite TTS. Like I said, that's Vocalizer. It's Vocalizer and Eloquence are my two favorites, but Acapella is like in third.
All cast. Double tap to
Allcast. This app is great. I really love this app. It allows me to cast anything that I'm watching to any device in my house that's connected to my network. So I could cast something to my Google Home. I can cast to my Xbox One. I can cast to a PlayStation, which we do have a PS4 here, so I can cast to that. But it's not mine, so I would never done that, but I could. But I really use it a lot to cast from an app, which we'll talk about in a little bit as we move on here.
Amazon Alexa. Double tap.
Amazon Alexa, I'm sure you guys know what that is. Allows you to set up your Amazon Echo device. Now I don't have an Echo, however I do use Reverb for Alexa, so that still requires the Alexa app.
Android Authority.
And
Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold.
we'll talk about Reverb as well. Okay.
Amazon Android Authority. Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold to press.
Android Authority, that is the application for AndroidAuthority.com. One of my favorite websites to visit for all the latest Android news, updates, rumors, and whatnot. Really enjoy this app. It's got a nice layout. Everything is nice and organized, and I love it.
Android Central.
Android Central. This is the website for AndroidCentral.com. Same concept. You get news articles, videos, just like Android Authority. Again, a pretty nice app. I do think Android Authority is a little better, but Android Central is a close second.
Android Secret Codes.
Android Secret Codes. Now, this is not an app that I got from the Play Store. This is an APK file. Now, what this app does is it allows you to select the brand of device you have. In my case, it's Samsung, obviously. And it gives you secret codes that unlock hidden features of your phone. It's pretty cool. I've never actually gotten any of the codes to work. I believe it depends on your region and your carrier and the model of device you have. But it's a pretty unique app. It's very accessible. So I like it a lot.
Aptoide. Double tap.
Aptoide. This is a third-party app store. Now, honestly, I don't know why I installed this. This app store is it's basically a pirating store. There's a lot of pirating in this store. Now, what this app allows you to do, and I don't agree with it at all. I used to do it, and I will never do it again. It allows you to get betas of applications as well as install apps that are not in the Play Store. Now, it allows you to get betas of applications for free without having to sign up for any testing group or anything like that, which I do not agree with at all. I don't believe in stealing apps from developers, so I'm going to probably delete Aptoide. But and I've also gotten malware from this app too on my when I had my Galaxy S6, I believe it was. So I don't trust this app at all. I'm gonna delete it. I don't know why I installed it. Sometimes I just get too crazy and I start tampering around because it's Android, it's open, so sometimes I take too much advantage of that. But Audible, this is, I'm sure you guys know what Audible is. It's audiobooks. I don't really use this a lot. Actually, I don't use it at all. But it's nice if you do. If you like Audible, then you have over 900,000 books to choose from. So it's a pretty vast collection of audiobooks. Audio Game Hub 2. This is Audio Game Hub. This is, well, it was fun for a while, but really, I mean, development for this app is kind of slow, and it's just, I don't know. I play it, but I'm not crazy about it. I'm not really into mobile gaming too much. I will say this. I've had some experience with blindfold games on iOS, and blindfold games is obviously a lot better. There's more support, and there's more games. It's just, it's fun. My favorite game on blindfold games is Blindfold Song Name. I'm really good at that game, and I wish Blindfold Games was on Android so I could play that game more because I'm a beast at that game. I'm really good at Blindfold Song Name, but AZ Screen Recorder. That is the app that I'm using to record my screen right now. This is my favorite screen recorder. Now, a few things to note with AZ Screen Recorder. There are some unlabeled buttons. However, actually, pretty much all the buttons are unlabeled. However, there is a feature in TalkBack that's called something. I think it's called like label. I think it's called like content IDs or something like that for unlabeled buttons. And if you turn that on, and most TalkBack will pretty much add labels to most apps, and AZ Screen Recorder is one of them. Now that makes AZ Screen Recorder very accessible. So I would still recommend AZ Screen Recorder if you have the latest version of TalkBack installed. This is a really awesome app, and it's very simple, and I absolutely adore this app. It's great. Bixby Remapper. I did a video on this. This allows you to remap the Bixby key. However, it really didn't work well. So I just pretty much, and I really didn't want to remap the Bixby key because I like Bixby, but I just wanted to do a video on it because I know there are people out there who hate Bixby. So I did a video on that. I installed this app, and it works okay, but when you remap the key, like I remapped it to Google Assistant, and Google Assistant screen did pop up, but I didn't get it. It didn't function properly. I didn't get any responses from Google Assistant after I asked a question. But BK Manager, this app allows you. Now I think this app, I want to say this app is kind of like Package Sailor Pro. However, this app doesn't work anymore. I'm going to uninstall it because when I tap on it, like I said, I'm not going to demonstrate it right now, but when I tap on this app, it tells me to install a plugin. And so when I hit OK, it takes me to the Play Store, but it says item not found on the Play Store. So this app is useless.
Calculator.
Samsung Calculator. Don't really use it pretty much at all.
Calendar.
Again, Samsung Calendar, which we went over that earlier.
Camera. Tap to activate.
Camera. Again, went over that.
Chrome. Tap to activate. Tap and hold to press. Clock. Tap to activate.
Samsung's clock. This is an okay clock app. I don't really come in here too often, but it's pretty easy to set an alarm. Now, me, I'm kind of lazy, so I would probably have Bixby or Google Assistant set my alarm for me, or I would even just do it on my Gear S3 as well. But clock app is pretty good.
Cloud. Double tap to
at Verizon Cloud. Now, this app is Verizon's cloud service, which allows you to back up contacts, photos, music, and videos, and everything that is on your device. So, pretty good app.
contacts.
Of course, that's contacts.
Diddy. Double tap.
Diddy. Now, this app is fun. This app is a lot of fun. It's funny too. However, one thing to note here is Diddy takes a lot of it takes a lot of tampering with. There are pretty much I don't know, I want to say like 80 to 90% of the buttons are unlabeled on here on this app. However, if you play around with it and just explore the app for a while, you'll get to know it pretty well. And I did, and I've created some pretty weird ditties that I probably should not share on YouTube, but nonetheless, it's a fun app. I enjoy it. I have it on iOS and on Android. But it's a nice app. I really enjoy Diddy. It's fun to mess around with. My friend and I mess around with it all the time, and we have tons of fun. So it's awesome.
Search phone. Edit box.
Now
Double tap to enter text. Double tap and hold to address. Page 2 of 4.
page 2, and there's 4 pages of apps. So
Dropbox. Double tap. Email. Dropbox. Double tap to activate.
Dropbox, which I talked about that earlier, another cloud storage app. Very useful. I have a lot of files in here. I actually believe I have more files in here than I do in Google Drive. But it's pretty useful. I like Dropbox. It's really accessible. There's also a client for desktop too and Mac, so pretty good.
Email.
Of course, we talked about the Samsung email app.
Eloquence TTS. Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold to address.
ETI Eloquence TTS. Now, for those who are visually impaired and who have used screen readers in the past, you probably know what Eloquence is. It is a very popular TTS among the blind and visually impaired community. It's one of the original. It's one of the very first TTS voices to be around, and it's very good. I really like Eloquence, and I spent $20 on this app, so I do use it here and there. But it's a good app. It's made by Code Factory, and a lot of you guys may know who are on Android. Code Factory is very expensive. They charge pretty steep prices for their apps, but Eyes Free Reader. I love Eyes Free Reader. Okay, I use this all the time when I'm web browsing and reading an article. Now, how this app works is, now this app can be used as a default web browser too, but I don't use it like that. How this app works is when you're in Chrome or any web browser, what you basically do is one of two things. You can either share the link to Eyes Free Reader and it'll immediately start reading the article, and you can just lock your screen, sit back and listen to an article, and it pretty much skips over all the ads on the web page and all the junk, and you can adjust the speed in which it reads the articles, and it uses your default TTS engine to read the articles as well. Now, the other way you can have an article read to you through Eyes Free Reader, and actually, by the way, too, this does read books too, so you can read books with Eyes Free Reader as well. But I use it for web browsing. But the other way you can have it read articles is in your Android sharing menu. There is, which is also the way to copy the link too. But in the Android sharing menu, there's a button that says "Save to Eyes Free Reader," which does the same thing as copying the link. I usually just share the link. I could save it to Eyes Free Reader, but I don't. Maybe I'll do a review of this app at some point. Maybe I'll go over it. It's a very straightforward app, but maybe I'll do a little review on it.
Facebook. 2 notifications. Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold.
Facebook, I'm sure you guys know what that is, and of course 2 notifications. Check them later. Who cares?
Galaxy apps.
Galaxy Apps. This is Samsung's own app store. I don't use this really at all, unless I'm updating my Samsung apps. I don't download anything from here though, or I'm updating the apps on my watch, but don't really use this a lot. Of course, I just use the Play Store.
Gallery. Double tap.
Gallery again.
Board. Double tap.
Gboard, which is the Google keyboard. A very nice keyboard. I use Samsung keyboard right now, but I switch back and forth once in a while between Gboard and Samsung keyboard.
Genie. Double tap.
Genie. This is for my Netgear router. This allows me to control the router and just pretty much manage the router. It's a really nice app for Netgear. It's accessible, and I enjoy it.
Google. Double tap.
The Google app.
Google I/O.
Google I/O. This is the app for Google's annual developer conference, which this is the Google I/O 2018 app, which Google I/O 2018 was about 2 months ago, and I did do a live stream about Google I/O on my live Q&A and Hangout, which was one of my first live streams. I did try live streaming in the past, but like the live Q&A, the live Hangout and Q&A was what really got me started, which was recently on live streaming.
Hangouts. Double tap.
Hangouts. I don't use this very often, but I installed it on here because there are certain people that I talk to. Well, once in a while I talk to them on Hangouts. So I just installed it on here. I had a Chrome extension on my computer, but I don't really like the Chrome extension. I prefer the app, the mobile app itself. But it's Google Hangouts. It's okay.
Home. Double tap.
Google Home app. As you guys know, I have a Google Home, so this is the app to set up your Google Home and manage other devices like Chromecast or stuff like that. So, a nice app.
FTTT.
IFTTT, which stands for If This Then That. Now, what this app allows you to do is put two services together to do multiple tasks. So, for instance, I could put Google Assistant and Google Drive together and have and say something to Google Assistant. And let's say I can have it create a document in Google Drive. But it goes beyond that. I was going to do a video about this, but this app is very complex and it would take me a while to do a video about it. So I'd really have to sit down and plan everything out. But that could happen. I could do that in the future. We'll see.
Inclusive Android. Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold to press.
Inclusive Android. Now this is the application for the website inclusiveandroid.com. Now what Inclusive Android is, it's kind of like the AppleVis for Android, except there's not nearly as much traffic as there is on AppleVis. But this is where the blind and visually impaired Android community come together, and help each other. You can do audio tutorials, can submit apps, can write articles. It's a pretty good app. Like I said, there's not a lot of traffic on here, so I don't go on here too often. I do have an account, but I've never put anything up. I don't even know if I will, because I just don't know how many people will see it. So, but that's Inclusive Android.
Instagram. Double tap to
Instagram. I'm sure you guys know what Instagram is. I don't use this too often, but use it once in a while, and it's actually surprisingly accessible for the blind, and I can appreciate that.
Maps. Double tap.
That's Google Maps again.
Messages.
Samsung Messages. This is my default messaging app for texting.
Messenger. Double tap to
Facebook Messenger. I'm sure you guys know what this is. I'm still not a fan of this app, but I have no choice but to use it. If I want to talk to my friends on Facebook, I have no choice but to use it. So, I mean, whatever.
News. Double tap.
Google News. This app was just recently announced at Google I/O and was released not too long after, and this has a bunch of news sources in it and allows you to just look at the news on any topics that you're interested in. Now, what this does, it uses machine learning. So, like the things that you research, the most often, Google will know what you're interested in from artificial intelligence and machine learning, and you will get articles based on your interest. Now, for me, I have sports and tech, because those are my two biggest passions, is sports and tech, mainly tech. I do have a sports channel, but I don't do anything on it anymore. It's J Sports, but if I were you, I probably wouldn't subscribe to that channel because, well, it's pretty much dead. I started it and I stopped it. So, but anyway,
Phone. Double tap to activate.
Samsung's phone app. That's in the dock, of course.
Play games.
Google Play Games. I had to install this for Audio Game Hub, but this allows you to. No, I don't know exactly if you can. I don't know if this is exactly like Game Center where you can play online with your friends, but like I know. Actually, I think you can with certain games, but this is required for Audio Game Hub, and it's basically, and the reason why is because Audio Game Hub has a ranking system for pretty much every game where they rank their top players who have the most wins or whatever the game is based off of. So,
Play music. Double tap to activate.
and of course it's Google Play Music,
Play store. Double tap to activate.
the Play Store.
Search phone. Edit box. Page 3 of 4.
Now we're on page 3, so we got one more page left.
Voice search. More options. Button. Easy screen recorder. Reverb. Samsung Experience Home. Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold to press.
And there's Reverb for Amazon Alexa, which I just talked about earlier.
Sam Mobile. Double tap.
Sam Mobile. This is an application for the website sammobile.com, which covers all Samsung news and rumors, and they also have Samsung firmware that you can install and flash on your phone. I have an account for this, and it's pretty handy. I like going in here and just reading stuff. Now, the problem with this app, though, is it crashes a lot every day. It crashes. But I'm not going to uninstall it because I enjoy this app a lot. I just wish they would fix the crashing on here because it's terrible. But it only crashes like once a day, so mainly when I boot my phone up. But
Samsung Gear.
Samsung Gear allows you to manage your Samsung Gear devices like your watch or your Gear Icons, which are Samsung's wireless headphones, or Gear VR, or pretty much any Gear device that Samsung manufactures. You can manage through the Gear app.
Samsung Health. Double tap.
Samsung Health allows you to track, keep up with your health, like helps you measure your steps, measures your heart rate, and the amount of calories you burn, the amount of your food intake, stuff like that. It's pretty nice. I mainly use it for my heart rate, but it's a cool app.
Samsung Music. Double tap.
Samsung Music. This is Samsung's music player. I don't use this a lot. Actually, at all, I don't use it.
Samsung Themes.
Samsung Themes. That's the theme store, which is on my home screen, which is on home screen 3.
Samsung Plus.
Samsung Plus, a must-have app if you have a Samsung device. This is a must-have app. It's a Samsung support app, pretty much. You get tech support from Samsung, which I actually have before, and the guy that helped me was really good. He knew about TalkBack and Voice Assistant, so he was really good with me. There's also a community forum on here where you can post your issues to Samsung, and Samsung moderators or members of the community will answer your questions. So it's a very useful app, must-have app if you have a Samsung device.
Security and privacy. Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold to press.
Security and privacy. This is Verizon's antivirus software. I use it because I recently had malware on my phone and I couldn't get rid of it, so I had to re-enable this app and find where the malware was and uninstall it. Zero, formerly known as iBlink Radio, is a podcast service for podcast podcast service for blind and visually impaired. They have podcasts like Cool Blind Tech, Blind Geek Zone, Cooking in the Dark, and a lot of different podcasts that for visually impaired.
Settings.
Of course, settings.
Skype.
Skype. I use this very little. However, I will say this right now. If anybody wants to add me on Skype, feel free. I did talk about doing more collabs on YouTube in my live streams and just talking and just introducing people and getting other people's channels out there as well. But if you guys want to add me on Skype, feel free. My Skype name is JustinMichael34, no spaces. So it's up to you. You don't have to, but if you'd like to, I will accept you. And if you want to talk, I will gladly talk to you on Skype, message you, call you, whatever you want. No problem.
Smart Braille.
Smart Braille. This is a fairly new application. And honestly, I don't like it. I'm probably going to delete it. But what this app does is it has a Braille keyboard. You can use it as a Braille keyboard, which is cool, but it doesn't work well for me. And also, it is a text scanner, so you point your camera at any text and it'll read it. And I've found that it's not that good, but again, it's a new app. I'm gonna give it time, but right now I'm not impressed. But you know me, I like to test apps, I like to install apps that I come across and test them out. So,
Smart Tutor.
Smart Tutor. Now this is the app that I had to use in my call with the Samsung technician. Now what this app allows a technician to do is get remote access to your device and solve any issues that you may be having. So I would say another must-have app if you have a Samsung device.
Sonic Vision.
Sonic Vision. Now this app is in alpha testing right now. I don't know how much detail I can go into with this app, but it allows you to basically add sound schemes to any screen reader that you're using, and you've probably heard some sounds in my live streams before, and some other videos, but it's a pretty good app. I have it off right now because I'm not one to really mess with sound schemes, but it's fun once in a while to just play around and look at the different sounds.
Spotify.
This is my music service of choice. I love Spotify. I believe it's the best music streaming service out there. I have Spotify Premium because, well, I hate the free version of Spotify. I hate the UI of it. I hate being limited to 6 skips per hour. I hate ads. And I just feel like it'd be a pain in the ass to install AdGuard, which some people do that. To block ads, but why do that when you can just pay $10 for premium and not have to worry about installing AdGuard and updating host files and all that shit? It's not worth it. I would just pay $9.99 a month. It's not much. It's worth it.
TapTapC.
TapTapC. Now, this is a pretty good one too. It allows you to take a picture of any object in front of you and you will get a description of what you just took a picture of. So, pretty good app. Unfortunately, it doesn't get updates anymore, which is quite unfortunate, but it's still a very good app, and I still like it.
TeamViewer.
TeamViewer. Now, what this does is allows you to remotely access a PC or another Android device. I haven't really used this too much, actually, really, not even really at all. But I installed it because one day it could come in handy for me if I'm not near my computer and I want to access my PC or whatever. That's what this app is for. Now I do have to install it on my laptop, which I may do at a later date. But
Terrarium TV.
Terrarium TV. Now, now I did state before that I'm not really that I don't like pirating at all. However, I don't really know if I could call this app pirating because it takes files from trusted sources. And now, what this app allows you to do is stream TV shows. Um, Now, this is the app that I was talking about that I use Allcast for to cast my Xbox One. Now this app is very accessible, Terrarium TV. It's a lot better than Showbox, which Showbox is definitely illegal. Terrarium TV, I'm not exactly sure if it's illegal or not, but I have it. I like it. It's accessible. I consider doing a review on it, which I may do. I'm not sure yet, but there may be a review on this app. I'm gonna think about it. But anyway, Tweetings. This is a third-party Twitter client, which I absolutely love. I love this Twitter client because the default Twitter app is a piece of shit in my opinion. Now, this app was like $2, I think, but it was worth it. Which I do gotta start using Twitter more. I know, like, Twitter is very essential for content creators on YouTube, and I gotta start using it more. I don't have that many followers at all, but my Twitter handle is @JustinRuland. Just to put that out there. Don't have many followers. I think I only have like 5 followers. That's how much I really use Twitter. But when I do use it, this app is awesome. I just enjoy it very much. Twitch. For all you gamers out there, I'm not a big gamer, but for all you gamers out there, this app, this is where this is pretty much your non-stop shop to a ton of video game streamers. The big thing right now is Fortnite, which I don't know why. I think Fortnite is a huge waste of time, but I'm not going to go into that right now. I'm not going to rant about that right now. But yeah. And there's the default Twitter app. Again, I don't like it. I do find, though, for some strange reason, it does work better with Samsung's voice assistant, which I find kind of peculiar, but it does, and it's I don't know, it's okay, but I do prefer Tweetings overall. Vocalizer Voices, which is the TTS I'm using right now. I'm using Tom, which is my favorite voice. My two favorites are probably Tom and Allison. That's Samsung's voice recorder. It's a very nice recorder. I use it here and there. And there's Verizon's voicemail again.
Search phone. Edit box.
Now we're gonna go to the final page.
Page 44. Page 44.
Whoops.
Page 44. Page 44.
Hang on a second.
Page 44.
There we go. Sorry guys, I have a screen protector on here, so sometimes the touch screen can act weird sometimes, but
Voice search button. Options. Easy screen recorder. WhatsApp. Samsung Experience Home.
we got WhatsApp, which is a chat service. Pretty good app. However, I have answering calls on Android is quite impossible with WhatsApp. I like the way iOS does things, where when you get a WhatsApp call, it goes through the phone app, which I think is awesome. I do wish Android could do that, but I don't know if they ever will. But WhatsApp's pretty good for messaging. YouTube. I'm sure you guys know what that is. YouTube Music. I used to use this quite a lot. However, this was actually, I switched from Spotify to this for quite a while, and it was a good experience. However, when I had to cancel my YouTube Red, it just was not. I didn't like it at all, because you couldn't even use background play. You had to watch the YouTube videos, which I think is stupid. I'd rather just listen to my music and not have to watch a video. But anyway, that's YouTube Music. YouTube Studio allows me to manage my channel, allows me to view my analytics, my subscriber count, I can see you guys' comments and reply, and check my overall analytics. It's pretty handy if you're a YouTube creator.
Zedge.
And,
Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold below press. Zoom.
oh,
Zedge.
okay.
Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold below press.
We have Zedge. Now, this is where you can get free ringtones, wallpapers. I don't use this too often, not as much as I used to. I've kind of taken a step back from Zedge a little bit. I'm not that crazy about it, but pretty good app still.
Zoom. Double tap.
Now, Zoom. This is the app that I discussed about in my live stream. Zoom Cloud Meeting. This is the app that I had to use for my eSight conference call to use the eSight glasses. Now, I'm probably going to delete this app because I don't think I really need it anymore, but that's that.
Search phone. Edit box.
And,
Double tap to enter text. Double tap and hold below press.
and with that, that's it, guys.
Home button. Home screen. Page 1 of 3. Default page.
That is everything I have on my device. A lot of it is stuff that came with the phone, as well as quite a few of my own stuff that I downloaded. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like more, if you would like these videos more, like updated versions of these, please comment in the comments section, and I will gladly do another video of this. I enjoy doing this type of videos. They're a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed them too. This is Justin Ruland, and I'm out. Peace.